Oh,
I know.
yeah. So no, we're
Talking about
yoga. But they do have several evening classes or weekends.
They do.
Would Eli be able to?
Normally, yeah, it would have to just be something so pre-planned. Because I'm a planner and he's kind of like a fly by the seat of your pants kind of human. During the week, I would really like to go, but yeah, it's usually that 5:30 class in the morning is the only one I could go to, and the motivation in the morning for me is just, I like my sleep too much.
Right.
But on the weekends, yeah, probably. But like this weekend, he is down with all of his coaching staff for a football conference in the cities.
Because I'm kind of fly by the night too. So it's just like I don't pre-register. It's like I show up, and if they have the class, great. Register me.
Yeah.
And so like I make the 5:30 at night on Mondays, which is a strength one that I really like. And then the Saturday mornings.
Does Amy do Monday nights?
Nope. Jen Stumbo, she's out of Battle Lake.
Okay.
And she's been really good because she helps us older women with perimenopause and different things like that. And
Like good stretching
and helping with diet. And
that's nice.
so I've liked learning a lot of stuff from her.
That'd be huge. I've only made it to like 3 classes there, just life. But I've gone to Amy's, which, I mean, she's a good friend of mine, and we coach together. And she's just so good at that, like, slow strength, and I'm more of that, like, beginner getting back since having call. So it's so nice from having, like, having a C-section and then having her there to kind of, like, slowly get those ab muscles working again is
What
nice,
ab muscles?
Yeah, what ab muscles is right. I'm like, there's nothing left. Ashley's are a little bit too intense for me at the moment because I'm like, I need to ease into this very slowly.
Well, and sometimes hers are a little too intense because she likes to do a lot of inversions and going on your head. And it's like, nope, I'm just going to stay on the ground here.
Yeah,
And
I can't do those. Maybe if I was like a professional yogi, but there's no way yet. But I mean, I could also go to the high school with Eli. And he works out every day.
Okay.
And he's like, you can come with me, but I don't know what it is. It's like intimidating to work out in front of your husband. Can't do it. And then there's like a bunch of high school kids in there, and there's nothing worse to me than working out with a bunch of high schoolers. Like, you still like feel like you're in high school when they're all staring at you like a girl in the gym. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Physically can't get myself.
They're all going to be watching the coach's mom.
Yeah, look at me. No thanks. Coach's wife over here, don't look at me. It's like, ugh. And I've known them all since they were like 2. Taught half of them in swimming lessons, but it's like,
Right. Yeah.
can't do it. But hopefully the pool opens up this summer. That will be nice.
Right.
I think it's supposed to be, I mean, I know a lot of kids are interested in lifeguarding, so hopefully they can find enough staff to open it on time.
Well, and maybe they'll do some aerobics and stuff in there too. So
I think so, because it looks like their big lap swimming pool is, I think, probably equipped for it. Just depends how many people they'll probably have on staff. Like I know back in our day, when I worked there, we would do, like water aerobics
Right.
at like 5. We'd close it from 5 to 6 and then reopen it from 6 to 8.
for free swim and
For free swim again, but everyone did water aerobics for that hour, or you could do like lap swim.
Yep.
And I hope they do something like that again.
because I used to do that when they had that,
Yeah,
and I
it's
enjoyed
nice.
that. Yeah.
I mean, it's a really good workout being in the water. I mean,
Right.
that's the best workout. Works everything for you all in one.
Yeah.
But hopefully it opens. I'm just excited for this mini splash pad that's in the back.
Well, especially for your little one.
Yes. I'm just hoping there is enough lifeguards because this little splash pad is pretty small. And then it goes right into the zero gravity pool.
Because how old is she now?
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
So she'll just, you have to be right there
And she
with
has
her.
no fear. She's just like, oh, swimming? And then she'll just go straight in. And I'm like, no.
No,
the splash
slow
pad
down.
there goes from zero right into the zero gravity of 6 feet deep, honey. You can't. I will probably save her multiple times, but good thing I'm a old lifeguard. I don't want the lifeguard staff to save her. That's embarrassing. It'd be every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
She has this, she just thinks she can swim.
It's good that kids have no fear, but at the same time, it's kind of, because my kids always had fear and they would always cling to my leg. And,
Right.
anytime we would go anywhere, they're standing behind me. It's like, okay, you can say hi to whomever. It's okay to talk. And
It's okay. You can go mingle.
right.
No, she'll mingle, but she just she just thinks she can swim, doesn't want to wear her life jacket. But that is my fault. I have worked with her since she was little doing swimming lessons. So she does have a lot of those skills, but she always assumes that I'm right there.
Right.
So you just have to be, as constantly on, which is fine. But it'd be nice to just be able to sit on an edge and like say hi to someone as well. But maybe when she'll wear a life jacket eventually.
You'll just have to let her know. Just like when you ride in the car, you have to be in a car seat. So just like when you swim, you have to have a life jacket on.
Yeah.
And
she wears it on the boat and has no problem. It's just when she's like at my brother's pool, like out on Bass Harbor on Lida, they have that community pool because they're an association.
Okay.
And she just thinks it's hers. And I'm like, it's not your pool, honey. This is an association
sure it is.
pool. It doesn't help because no one's ever there. It's usually like us and Art and Erica Escobar and their kids. And that's like it. And so it's funny because she just literally thinks she just owns the whole pool to herself. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not yours. You can't tell people to go away.
so now I see they're selling it.
They are.
Where are they going to go?
They have to go back to the Twin Cities. He has to go back 3 days a week full time to work in office. I feel like a lot of companies are now having a lot of their employees go back to work in office, which, I mean, it makes sense. Boston Scientific is making like that massive building in Maple Grove right on 94. He's not in that one, but I mean, there's a ton of people in their company that have to go back to in office, which...
Well, even we are. So, I mean, from COVID, about 3/4 of our employees went home to work from home. But now it's just like, it's getting too comfortable. And if you're calling them, you got the dogs barking, you can hear the kids crying in the background. So it's like, really, how much is everybody getting done?
For sure. It's like they're just not as productive.
Right.
And like, I do really feel like Spencer might be that like weird exception, because he does work from home, but he has like a loft that is his office. And Siri sometimes works from home, but then goes to Fergus most of the time for work. But it's just those two, and their dog. And Jabba doesn't care about anything. He's just chill.
Right.
And so, I mean, his whole entire day is Skype calls. Like, they're
so
just...
those that have now gotten accustomed to that, to now having to go back into the office, that would be hard.
It'd be so hard. I think he's almost a little excited, though, because he is social. It was really hard for him in the beginning to adjust to not seeing anyone ever. Because he is. I mean, he's like my mom and like me. Like, he is a very social human being. So I think being stuck at home for a while has kind of been hard on him. But now to have to move back to the cities after they just built their nice lake home.
I was going to say, because they built that to how they like
COVID.
it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, they love it. And now it's like for them to have to sell that and go back to the cities. And it's like a weird timeline. Like, they have to be back. There's not like a definite time. They just want to get back. They found a house down there that they really like. So hopefully, but hey, if anyone, wants to buy a beautiful lake home on Lida, that's perfect.
They shouldn't
Brand
have
new.
a problem selling it whatsoever. So
No, it's so
in a
nice.
good location, good lake. And
it's nice that it's like it's on the lake, right? But it's not. So it's not like you have to take care of lakeshore property.
Correct.
But you still get all the benefits of being on the lake. It's ideal.
right.
If I could, I would.
I was going to say, why don't you and Eli buy it?
I know, let's just sell our house in town and get out there. It'd be the dream. It would. I literally asked him, I was like, do you think your mortgage is, what is that called? When you can like transferable?
Yeah.
Any chance? He's like, no.
No.
It's like, dang it. It was my only opportunity. But it was a thought.
How about we'll live there for you, and, we'll take care of it for rent.
Right?
Free
We'll
rent.
just rent it from you like an Airbnb, and you can just, if they didn't have to buy a house in the cities, I think it would be a thing. But I mean, the houses down there are so expensive. They're like 100 years old and $500,000. And
Right.
it's like, for what?
Yeah.
It's not like, who actually wants to live in the concrete jungle? Not me.
Yeah.
I could never. You could not pay me to move back to Minneapolis.
My kids just bought a home over in Breckenridge.
Okay.
And it's no basement, no upstairs, just single floor. And what they had to pay was unbelievable. I mean, back in the day, you would think you'd maybe spend $100,000 on
Yep.
it. And it's like, these young kids starting out to try to find a house that you can afford is.
Well, even like when we bought our house, like my brother's house, which is, what it is on the market for compared to like what we bought our house for, is now, I think our mortgage is literally almost the same and or more expensive than my brother's because our interest rate was so high. Because when they bought their house, it was COVID, so interest rates were low, at least.
Yeah.
But it's like, how does that make sense? Your house is like almost double worth the value maybe of ours, and yet our mortgages are the same.
Yeah.
Same with cars right now.
Oh,
I mean,
know.
that's insane. My mom just got a new car, and it was like, what are they? That's not so. But I mean, you know it best, right? It's your job. It's just like you look at it, and it's like these markets, I'm sure, are just...
And right now, what you're hearing on the news is they're only going to go up even more. So it's like I had a customer in this morning. I said, hurry up and buy something now before they tack another $3,000 to $5,000 on top of the purchase price. Yeah.
That would be ridiculous. But I mean, it's coming, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know we have my Black Atlas, that we got probably 2 years ago, and we love. And I love my car, but now it's getting, up to 100,000 miles. I have like 96 on it. I love my car. I literally want like the same one with just like a few lower mileage on it. But now I'm like,
well, you're just getting it broke in.
yeah, it's just broken in now at 100,000 miles. But I haven't had a car over 100,000 miles in years, other than my like Volkswagen convertible Bug, like that's old. It's a 2008, but not like a newer car, like our family car that we drive all the time. And I'm like, please don't break. I feel like every time I've driven a car over 100,000 miles, something goes wrong.
Well, I think if I remember right, when you got that, didn't something happen right away?
Yes, we hit a deer like 1 month after I hit it. And then we only had Eli's truck. And then I bought the Bug just for cheap because I was like,
what else are you going to drive?
I don't have a car. And then my dad was like, oh, you can have our old beater. And I'm like, it doesn't even have car seat adapters. Like, no, I can't put Collins in this thing. And weirdly, the Bug had car seat stuff and it fits. So I was like, okay, for, a good 3-month fix, because at that time too, parts for cars were taking forever. We were just waiting on my hood and my grill for my Volkswagen, and it took like 3-4 months for it to come in.
Well, just so you know, it hasn't gotten any better because 2 weeks ago, I was coming back from Fargo.
Yeah.
I hit a goose right through the windshield, smashed the whole darn thing.
No. In your truck?
In my truck. And it has a camera piece in it, so they thought they had it this week. And he goes, oh, bad news. It's going to take another 2 weeks. So a month without my vehicle.
And are you driving like a SUV?
I got my dad's vehicle because he's in the nursing home. So
I suppose. But that is a huge switch, though, too, just like height-wise.
Right. I feel like I'm in a little race car when I'm driving.
You can speed around, especially when you're used to being so high up in a nice truck, and then it takes a lot to adjust to like being back sitting in a car.
But at the same time, I don't have to go rent a car or something
and
like
gas
that.
mileage is probably nice.
Right.
At least the winter's over, so now you don't have to really worry about. I shouldn't say that yet. We
still have April to get through.
It's still only March. You just never know with Minnesota. I feel like half the time we think it's over, and then 2 seconds later, it's like, why did we say it? We cursed ourselves.
Correct.
I'm hoping. This weekend said it was supposed to be nice, but this like overcast today it's not my thing.
Yeah. So I have to ask you, because both my kids are getting married.
Yes.
So I seen that you have spray tan.
I do.
So is that something you just got, or
no?
how
I've
does
actually
it work?
been doing spray tans.
Okay.
It's just funny because I feel like no one knows that I do them.
Right.
And I'm not a social media human. I know that like for my millennial self generation, more people are, but I just can't. I'm not a poster. I don't like to post on social media, and I feel like small town, word of mouth. But I have done them. I did them when I worked in Fergus at Attitudes.
Okay.
And learned through them and everything. And then I've taken other extra spray tanning classes throughout the years. It's funny, though, because I did a bajillion of them in Fergus. Like, high school girls always wanted them, just people going on vacation all the time. And I do quite a few here, but not as many as I thought I would. But I do think a lot of people, don't realize that I do spray tan.
Well, I just seen a little clip the other day, so I don't know if you've seen, I had messaged you.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, you do it. When do you do
Yes.
it? And how long does it
My mom and them
last?
shared a lot of them, like my post. And I think a lot of people commented on my mom's posts, and then I
Yep.
don't see them. And I'm like, oh, dang, I need to check my mom's Facebook post.
Right.
But spray tans right now they're like $45. And it depends, I would say 7 days, but depending how much you shower. Or if you're going in chlorine, it's
So you're
gonna
saying
fade a
don't
lot
shower
faster.
after you get a spray tan?
Right. Well, no, you have to shower 8 hours after. But the more you shower, it's just the faster it's going to
gonna
fade.
go fade.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it lasts 7 days easily. And then you just can't exfoliate or use a ton of body wash. You can use certain body washes that have like more natural ingredients that aren't like, they're moisturizing, not like skin stripping. Anything that dries out your skin will basically make the spray tan get a little patchier, dry out, and then fade off faster. But they usually do last 7 days, and it's pretty easy. You just shave, exfoliate, don't put any moisturizer or any makeup on. You come, you get sprayed, depending on the level of darkness you want, or if you pick like a rapid tan, that will tell you, and then I'll tell you like when you should shower.
How many? Okay. Or how many days before an event should you come in and do this?
So like say prom that's coming up. Prom is on what, Saturday? Yeah, so prom's Saturday. So
This Saturday?
No, just on a Saturday.
okay.
And so for prom girls, I tell them to come like Thursday.
Sure.
So then they can come like Thursday night, get spray tanned, sleep in it, and then they can shower Friday morning, moisturize really well, and then if they need to shower again, then it, depending on if they feel a little too dark or if they feel like it's a good tan, then they can just re-moisturize and do like a quick body rinse and it'll be fine for prom. But it's nice to have that like 2-day window for, I would think, like an event, just so it kind of sets in and you have like your true
Get more
tan.
of your natural color. And
Yeah. I mean, the first day, the ones that I do too, though, don't have, they're all natural. They don't have like a bronzer. So it's nice you don't feel like coming out of there, you don't feel like you're like so dark.
You're not orangey.
No, you're not orange. They're very natural. There's hues for your undertones that I pick for you just based on your skin tone. But you don't walk out of there with like a bronzed, you don't come out there like black. Because a lot of the time when you get sprayed, they have like that built-in bronzer, and that's made for when you're actually spraying someone, you can see like where you're going.
Okay.
But with these ones, you can just see where you're going without the bronzer, which is nice. Because then you don't feel like sticky or tacky or overly smelly.
Sure.
Which is nice. They're just a lot more comfortable. As soon as I'm done spraying you, you're not feeling tacky. Because a lot of them take a long time to dry.
Right.
And that's not comfortable for anyone, especially if you have to like go back to work after a work day. She's so funny. I'm like, hello, Cindy. But no, they're good. They last like 7 days. Yeah, they're like $45.
Okay.
And they're nice.
And then do you do makeup for weddings?
I do. Yep, I do airbrush makeup and updos. Usually I have a partner come with me to do updos if I'm doing makeup, because if there's like a bigger bridal party, I can do both, but usually depending on how many people you're doing, there's just not enough time these days. Usually, wedding mornings are pretty scheduled. So it's like, we'll start at 7 or 8 a.m. and you have to be ready by noon, and say there's like 10 people. I can't do 10 people double services on, and
Right.
I can probably do 6.
Okay.
Maybe 7 on a good day, depending if, it's different if someone just wants their hair curled. But that's where it's like, you have like I have a form that you, like a bridal contract, and you kind of have your bridesmaids and everyone fill out what they want just so I can know ahead of time just to prepare.
I was going to say, because, how do you prepare for that many different skin tones and
Yes, and like with
features
airbrush machine, I do carry a lot of foundation options for everyone's skin tone. Just over the years, I really have quite a big makeup kit. So, I mean, it's pretty good. For the most part, I have everything. And if someone comes and is like, I am the color of snow, then I'll have to, go buy a lighter shade.
Sure.
Or reversed, it doesn't really matter. But for most of the time,
Do
I know the
you do
bridal
the
party.
eyelashes? Because I know some people have said that they do the fake eyelashes too for
So
weddings.
it depends on preference too. Like if someone comes in with lash extensions always done, I just try to avoid their, people who go in and get them done, just because the foundation will try to cling to them and then they have to try to wipe it off and it can pull them off. But we do like lash strips or like the little clusters that I can put on underneath as
Okay.
well. I would say a lot of the time I ask brides or bridesmaids to find their own lashes and I can put them on for them if they aren't comfortable doing it. But I want them to be comfortable, like with how full. Like I'll always have some with me that they can choose from. But if they have a lash that, they wear all the time, I tell them to bring it. Because it's like, I don't want you putting on this voluminous lash strip that you've never worn in your life and not feeling like yourself on your wedding day.
Right.
So most of the time I'm like, bring an option that you feel comfortable with. I will have some as well. And then we can kind of compare and contrast and see which one you're more comfortable on.
30 years ago when I got married, there was none of this. You did your own hair. You did your own makeup. You didn't have to worry about your nails.
No.
And now all of a sudden you have to do all of this stuff. And it's
a whole
like,
production.
yes.
It's a
Talk
huge
about
production.
stress.
It is, and it's so funny because our wedding, like Eli and I was literally I want to say like 60 people. And everyone who knows me like laughs and they're like, you didn't have a big wedding or like a big dance? Like that's your thing. You're so extroverted.
That's what,
like what?
forget about the ceremony.
Right?
They
Like,
just
where
have the
was your party? And I'm like, I think just doing enough weddings made me kind of realize that I didn't
want that.
know. I like going in, you see how the day goes so by and goes so fast. I was just kind of like, yeah, I want to spend time with the people who I actually want to see. I mean, yes, it would have been nice to have like a bigger party afterwards. I mean, that would have been fun. But honestly, I've never talked to someone and they're like, I wish I would have had a bigger wedding.
Okay.
I've never heard that come out of anyone's mouth in my entire career. It's always like, oh, I feel like I should invite more people. It's like, I promise you.
So you never felt that and didn't feel
No.
that,
I would
you
say-
missed out that you didn't have the...
No, I think the only thing Eli and I ever feel like we wish we maybe would have done is just like a party, like a dance after with our
Sure.
friends. But at that point, we had call and I had just opened my business and we had just moved into our house.
I remember when you got married.
Literally, it was a mess. Everything was happening at the same time. I was like, why did we do this to ourselves?
If you remember, I said, how are you guys even doing this and managing?
Not well. Like, I don't know what in our mind, why we thought it was right to do everything at the exact same time.
It's like, how much stress can we put on ourselves in one moment?
And I feel like, at just that, our stage of our lives right now too, it doesn't really stop. It's
No.
always just something else. Especially with like everything just, you save up money and then you save it. And then our oven just broke. And I am too anal to be like, oh, I'll just go get an oven that doesn't match. I can't do that.
No.
Now I need a whole
set.
And
Because they got to match and have the same color. And
yes, but like also appliances packages are honestly cheaper if you buy them all together. If you buy
Correct.
them individually, they're more expensive. But you see how much they go for during like a holiday sale. So I told Eli, I was like, well, we will wait for Memorial Day to buy a set because I'm not buying a set
actually,
right now.
go up to Carl's in Fargo, North Dakota. We were just there this last weekend, and they did have a set. I mean, this was for the whole set. The stove, the refrigerator, the
Everything.
microwave, and the dishwasher, and we saved like $2,000.
Oh, well, that's huge.
Yeah.
Because I was like looking at Black Friday because our microwave also just tends to have some issues. When they did our house, they did all the ventilation into like with our ceiling fans and our microwave, like through our attic. So when it starts to get warm and all this condensation, we get like water droplets dripping into our fans, which are in our
Not
microwave,
good.
which is super safe. So we just unplug it and don't use it. And then we did seal it up this last summer because we thought it was like coming through the roof, and it's definitely in the attic. So we have to have someone come look at that as well. But old houses, there's just always something.
Well, old houses, even new houses, it doesn't matter. Once you become a homeowner,
There's
you're
always
always
something.
fixing something, changing something out. And like you said, you just feel like you're starting to get ahead and make headway and save up some money, and then something else happens.
And then it's all gone. It's like, ooh. Especially like now, like you were saying, like it's so hard for people to even buy houses right now, especially of our age. It's like incomes really haven't changed a ton. And then now it's like, you got to fix all this stuff at the same time, and interest rates are astronomical, but you're not making any more money.
Right. And if you want to start a family and
And that's like, luckily we had call, but that was expensive, like she was a fertility baby. And so it's like, that was $10,000 right there through IUI. And so now it's like, well, one is good. One's good. Everything else is too expensive. But I mean, at least we have the space. But I'm like, let's focus on new appliances. And then we can, in a few years, rediscuss. Hopefully things will go back to semi-normal pricing. I mean, heck, Eli eats 6 eggs a day. Who can afford to buy eggs when you eat 6 eggs a day?
you're going to have to start raising some chickens out back.
Literally, he was looking into the city code and was like, hey, our neighbors 2 doors down have chickens. Can we have chickens? And I'm like, Kobe would eat them. Our chocolate lab? Are you kidding? I was like, you wouldn't even have to worry about the neighbor's dogs eating our chickens. It would be Kobe.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? If you and your dad want to build a chicken coop, go for it. He eats too many of them. Carrie Howgrew brought him eggs the other day, and he was like looking at them like they were his prized possession. I was like, thanks, Carrie. Like,
I was talking to somebody else. He's very into being fit and eating protein all the time, and he eats 12 eggs a day. It's like, one, how can you eat that many eggs a day? I mean,
I would throw up. It's like too much protein for me.
exactly.
I just, all the girls during dance season, all of our dancers would laugh at me because I'd be like, I would just randomly, spew out of my mouth like I always do. And it was like, well, yeah, Eli just eats 6 eggs mixed with ground beef every morning. They're like, oh my God, that's disgusting. They all have him for gym. And so then they look at him and like laughing, like, how is your eggs and beef? And he's like, what? What are they talking about? I'm like, what you eat for lunch almost every day? And he's like, oh yeah, I do that. Like,
so just ground beef and
eggs.
Scramble up or not scramble, but just a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah,
and
like literally he likes them over easy, and then he'll just crack it over ground.
That I couldn't do.
No. That or he like gets lazy and he's just like a 5-year-old boy who eats a PB&J. He's either like so health kick or like PB&J. There's no in between. But the guy works out 20 times a day, so he's fine. I'm like, I wish I could eat like you.
Yeah.
It'd be magical.
But I think men have it much more easier than women.
Sure they do.
It's like
we're just waiting, for some more restaurants to kind of pop up through town. Maybe eventually some of these buildings that are here will get sold so people can actually build more businesses like this coffee shop. Like,
right.
It's just so nice to have this space for people to just come in and talk and
correct
work and change up their scenery for their work day.
Yeah.
One of these days, hopefully something else. Me and my good friend Malin have been looking at wanting to open a wine bar in town.
Ooh.
I know, but we just don't have a space for it.
Well, that was the building that we were in.
Yes, and now it's doing an Airbnb.
Correct. When they bought it, they said it was going to be a niche bar, which I thought, okay, margarita bar, something like that.
Amazing.
Or even a juice bar or something like that. But now it's an Airbnb, so nothing retail. I mean, who can really utilize that? And
no, it will be nice for people who are maybe passing. And he's a really nice guy. And so we talked to him and we're like,
oh, did you?
Yeah, we were like, hey, and he was like, oh, that's a really cool idea. And then a few weeks later, he's like, I think I'm just going to turn it into an Airbnb. And we're like, okay, well, thanks for letting us know. It's amazing. I'm sure it will be a really great thing for the town. It's like, come on, there's so many of these empty buildings, that aren't being used for the town's purposes that I really wish.
Well, and just knowing that building, all the character that was in that building,
Yes.
all the woodwork that was original from the 1890s,
Stunning.
that it's all gone.
Yeah. Did he tear down the safe? Do you know?
Yeah.
It's so sad. It was such a cool piece of,
History.
yes. Kind of like the old antique building on the corner that needs to be probably at this point torn down.
Torn down, but I think it's all full now.
Floor to ceiling.
Yeah,
Floor
I haven't been
to
in there,
ceiling.
but I hear people of watching it bring in the back door and
Oh, and now in the front as well.
Oh, really?
Stuff will get thrown in there and it will fall back on the ground and they'll throw it back.
you probably get a better view being right downtown.
Yeah, right across from my salon. I'm like, oh, look who's at it again. It's just such a beautiful building. It'd be so nice if someone new, someone fresh could come in and make something out of it that would benefit the town.
Well, and you probably grew up here, so do you
Yes.
remember what it was like? We had the furniture store, we had the shoe store, we had a bakery.
We had 2 coffee shops.
Yeah, and how many restaurants and
So much more to do.
right.
We being in I'm 30 and we have so many friends around my age range, a little bit younger, a little bit older, and we're all like, there's nothing for us to do. We've all moved back because we love the town, we love the school district, but it's we need something for us. People who have young families should just get out and be able to
Friday
do
and
something.
Saturday night, where do you go?
Yeah.
Well, and don't young kids, because when I grew up, there was always a band.
Yes,
Every
always.
Friday and Saturday night, you could
There's
go out and you
nothing.
could go dance. Where can you do that now?
No, you can't. Not even in Fargo really anymore. You can go out and celebrate, but there's not even really places to dance anymore. And I don't know if that's our generational thing where it's I just want to go out and shake my tush and have a good time, and there's none of that anymore.
None of that.
No, but maybe one day, it would just be, for Pelican, it would be great just to have a few more spots that open up at the same time so their business can give another business more business, basically.
So speaking of going out and shaking your tush, so again,
Yes.
talking about the wedding coming up, this is what I worry about because I've never seen my kids dance
Oh, no.
because they've never had dances.
I suppose.
So it's okay, you're going to have your first dance. Are you going to know how to dance?
Do you need lessons?
Because me growing up, I had my mom and dad. Granted, they like to do the waltz. They like to do the polka.
Yes.
So every Saturday when we were cleaning the house, my mom would have the old stereo on. We'd throw back the rugs, and my mom and dad were teaching us how to dance.
That's so fun.
So we grew up learning how to dance, and we loved it. And nowadays,
None of it. No, I remember like being at my grandparents' house and my grandma would like teach me how to polka.
Exactly.
I'm like, I don't even think kids these generation knows what a polka is. Like, do they know how to square dance? Like, I remember when talking about prom, we'd have the seniors prom come in, like the older community come in for like the juniors, and we'd do like the juniors got to dance with like a bunch of the senior community. And I remember, what was his name? It was Arrested. It was his band, and he would come, and they would all play like on their accordions, and we would all dance like in the gym. And I remember it was so much fun getting to dance with like my friends' grandparents, and we would do like the square dancing and polka dance, and now they don't do that anymore.
No.
Prom's just not a big deal anymore either. It makes me so sad.
I know.
All these kids are like, oh, I just don't want to go to prom, and I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to go to prom? This is like some of your best memories in high school. It should be getting dressed up, dolled up, and having these fun experiences with your high school friends. Like, you don't get that again.
No.
This is the only time. Like, prom was everything for us young girls.
Right.
Like, getting dressed up and get to go with a date that you maybe or maybe didn't have a crush on or was just a good friend. And we would all get, like, classic cars and go on a ride. It was so much fun.
Well, we didn't have classic cars. We got to use the family station wagon.
We didn't either. We just asked all of our friends whose parents had them, and it was like, oh, can we drive your car for prom? And then we'd all, like, go basically in a line out to Fair Hills, and it was so much fun. And now there's just none of it anymore. I'm like, you guys got to bring it back. Like, you guys got to want to make it fun. You can't just like, well, yeah, if you're just going to walk down Grand March, well, you got to make an event out of it.
Well, you have a kid coming up in the school. You'll just have to start working on bringing some of that back.
I'll be like, come on, let's go. All the girls laugh at me all the time. Like, I'll have clients in my chair, and they're like, just like, oh, Hope, you're so silly. And I'm like, no, I'm really not.
This is what it used to be like.
This is what it used to be. It used to be so much fun.
Yeah.
Maybe one day stuff will get back to where kids really just wanted to spend time and, make the most of what they have at the moment, not be on social media 24/7.
Well, I was just going to say, but don't you think now, so many kids have working parents.
Yes.
So what happens to the kids? They're left at home with their phones, their iPads.
Yep.
That's what they know.
They don't even know how to like have a conversation with the person.
They don't know
next
how to go out and play or go out and visit with anybody. And
no. Just like, conversation comes naturally when you're talking all the time and not just staring down at your phone. Like, I remember even though back when I was in high school, my mom would literally have friends. Like, I'd have friends that would come over, and she could be like, oh, so-and-so's coming over, and she doesn't talk to adults very well, and then, oh, I have another friend coming over, and they're like, usually it would be like my guy friends that would sit up and like, you just had friends that could talk to your parents for hours.
Yep.
And then you'd have your friends, like my girlfriends, who would just go to the basement and hide. It's like, they're not that scary, I promise. Like,
right.
Julie Livedall can talk to anyone in the world. Like, she's not going to bite your head off.
She has a gift of gab.
She does. So do I, clearly. I'm like, I promise you. It's fine. And now it's like, now that we're all adults, we're like, why are we so scared of each other's parents? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Coulter's friends really weren't, I don't think, afraid of me that I've heard, but right. Chloe's have told me, oh my gosh, we came to your house and we were so intimidated by you.
You're like, why? We can talk to anyone.
Right.
But I feel like sometimes, just that like older presence sometimes to a young kid can be very intimidating in nowadays age, and they almost need to have a course, I swear, to like how to talk to adults these days, so they just look up from their devices for 2 seconds. But I think kids are eventually not going to be on their phones as much during school. Like, it wasn't a big deal when we were in school. We didn't have cell phones.
No.
I didn't get a cell phone until I was like a junior in high school, and there wasn't social media then. So hopefully that will kind of cycle back down. I think a lot of schools are kind of like, do you need your phone in school? I don't think they do.
But kids, adults can't be without their phone either, because their whole world is right there.
Right there. All the time, 24/7.
So when you lose it, you've got all of your contacts, your mortgage company, your bank, everything is on there. So if they lose it, they feel like they've lost their life.
It's like almost like, like my aunt forgot her purse the other day, and she's like, oh my God, I don't have my purse. Like, what can you do without your purse? It's the same thing with your phone. Like,
well, I don't carry a purse anymore.
No,
I carry my
phone.
phone
On the back.
And you carry your cards on it, and that's all you need.
It's just so convenient. You don't have to hurt your shoulder or rip your hair off anymore. It's great. Well, it was so nice getting to talk to you today.
And now I'm glad I got to know that you do spray tanning.
All the thanks.
You can help us out with Coulter's wedding, and so
that'd be great. Call me up, and I will just continue to come to you for all my banking needs, like I have forever.
Oh, well, again, great to see you and catch up and hear that things are going good.
Hey, thank you so much. You too. Well, hopefully that's so exciting having both weddings. It's a busy
Exciting.
time.
Expensive time, but all is good because that means grandbabies are coming.
Heck yeah, it's the best time.
Exactly.
Good to prepare. Well, it's good seeing you.
You too. Thanks, Hope.
Thank you.